Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people. Hey, Max.
Namaste.
Honestly, there's a delay in laughter there, not because of Zoom, but because I was like, what? Oh.
Well, isn't that the proper greeting for a vegan?
Oh, get out.
Where's my gong?
Have you seen my Instagram bio lately since the past 3 days?
Every morning. That's my, I mean, are we talking about your vegan routine or are we talking about my morning routine? Wake up, check Spag's Instagram bio. Did I tell you? Well, whatever. I got reached out to by I don't want to shout them out because I would like a brand deal. But I got reached out to by an Instagram account. And then the title of the account, this is really hard to describe without saying the name, but I don't want to say the name.
Right.
The title of the account is like tough man or something like that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like badass guy, bad man, tough man. And they were like, what brand deal, maybe an Instagram post or whatever, makes videos for us. I'm like, cool, what's the product? I hop over their Instagram account and it's erectile dysfunction pills. And I'm like, send them over.
Yeah. Why not?
But what a funny name. It's not, I mean, I guess naming something is pretty difficult as it is. And they just went in that direction. Like, I'm tougher than you are. Like that's the implication of the pill, I suppose. I don't know. It was just really, it tickled my fancy, I think.
Yeah, a few things to unpack there. One, I think they're just like vasodilators, right? Or they were discovered accidentally because they were trying to do something else with blood flow, and they're like, everybody's got an erection. Yeah.
And I've heard that a lot of bodybuilders take air quotes, take Cialis for the pump. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Yeah. I think it means I want to try it. I don't know. Like I'm in.
And the birth controls for my acne.
Right. Yeah. And my mood. I mean, wait a minute.
Okay. The other thing was you get paid a lot for uncomfortable products. You should pitch them a huge number because being in any sort of Depends ad, you'll make a ton more than just an average commercial,
Because it's so like sort of weird or odd for the person to do, you mean? Or
right, you don't want to be associated with erectile dysfunction. You're putting your face on that, which there's nothing wrong with that. Men, whatever.
I'm in. Who cares?
Yeah, give me the
for the
ED
pump
money.
It's for the pump.
It's for the pump. Wait, do you think they reached out to you because of that usage versus the traditional intention?
Oh, I don't know. It was, I mean, I'll have to text them or DM them or whatever. But I was just so tickled by it. Like the name of the, you know what I mean? If it's like, I don't know why my mind went here, but in that movie with the Denzel movie where he's a heroin dealer or heroin dealer, he names his heroin Blue Magic. And I just thought it was so funny. Like, oh, what a wonderful name. What is that? Oh, okay. All right, I'm over on.
You gotta message him back. Be like, why you targeting me? No.
I did. You just said thing. Why you targeting me?
Yeah, I know.
That's not what I say at all. What I say is, cut the check. Thanks.
Yeah, that's fair. There was a company that hit me up that did overseas plastic surgery stuff.
I hear that's very popular.
I know it is, but also, is it because you heard about it through YouTubers getting surgery, or it was crazy that they're hitting me up about it? It already seemed like I don't know. And then I was like, wait a minute, what are you saying that you want me to promote messing up your face or fixing your face that is currently messed up?
Maybe they were saying, just pretend like you've, as someone with a perfect face, we need you on the cover of our magazine. I don't know.
magazine.
Newspaper
Yeah,
clippings.
they were obviously
the front
they
of
were
the
trying
box.
to get face molds for
Right.
replicating me on other people overseas.
Have you ever thought of altering your appearance in a surgical way?
Yes, especially whenever you see those shows where people take it to extremes and turn into Barbie or a cat or whatever. When it's absurdist, I'm like, well, that's interesting. Now it becomes cool because you're bending reality and becoming whatever you want instead of, I don't know, being slightly hotter because your nose is thinner.
Being this boring human being.
Yeah, exactly.
So boring, so basic. You know what I mean? I want cat
Have you thought
ears.
about it?
No, but I did have adult braces, so that was a real, turnaround in my how I look at these things and how I judge it, I guess, or not judge it, or the opposite. Growing up, it was like, ooh, she got a nose job. It's all this like scoffy, old ladies talking over tea type stuff. And then once I had my adult braces, I was like, well, this feels ridiculous. I look and sound and feel stupid. But at the end of it, I was way happier.
Stupid?
Extremely. At the end of it, I was way happier with how I looked. Yeah. I was happy I got it, like something that bothered me taking care of, whether or not it was warranted, who knows. But I like wholeheartedly, I love stuff like that now. Like I love when girls get face jobs or boob jobs or butt jobs or whatever, hair, I don't know, dye your hair, whatever,
mold your reality, do whatever you want,
do whatever you want, look however you want.
But I oscillate back and forth because there's that element of, okay, fine, I'll just perfect me or do whatever, all those changes, yes, but what about just being the underlying issue and being happy with who you are and not caring about the width of your nose? What about that?
What about that? What if I could fix that in an afternoon instead of years of therapy or something that really you can't
becoming a Buddha? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think that, of course, there's some people that have underlying, deep-seated emotional trauma therapy, stuff like that. That probably goes a long way. But what if I'm like, I don't like my nose, I want to fix it? Like, I remember one time I was chewing my nails. I think that's
deep-seated.
I was chewing my nails one time. I was biting them. Oh. And my mom was like, oh, you're nervous? What are you nervous about? And I was like, oh, I'm nervous about having long nails. Boom. Problem solved. So I think there's a little bit of column both there. So
yeah, it is tough for me to make sense of it.
It must be way harder as a chick, no offense, but full offense, but no offense.
Thank you. At least you didn't say vegan.
Oh, a vegan. Sorry. Yeah, we're getting way off topic. So speaking of changing your body and mind.
Get out. For all our audio listeners, Max is praying, posing. Yeah.
Pray pose. I would do tree pose. The tree pose, you just stand there, right?
No, you have to lift your foot up too. It's like,
whoa. Well, then the tree would fall down. That doesn't make sense.
Tree doesn't have two trunks, so
it's got a lot of roots though, and they all talk to each other via mycelium networks.
Through mycelium. What? I've been drinking lion's mane.
Oh, you got some? Official or off-brand?
Not from the guy that came on because he sold the freak out. I had to get some.
He's all sold out. Shout out. Yeah. Respect.
Shout awesome. Out to Alchemy Mushrooms.
Yeah, that's amazing. Did you just go Amazon or what'd you do? Just off the shelf? Whole Foods.
No, I don't want to shout these people out.
7-Eleven.
There, I said it. And they didn't pay for it. But I've heard about it on other podcasts, which is a very trustworthy resource for health and fitness. You should definitely use podcasts as a way to improve your longevity. So I went with Forsymatic because I looked through a bunch of things and there really is that, is it safe? Is it high enough potency? Is it the cap or the underneath part?
Web, the goo, the fingerlings.
We just podcasted and he told us the exact words.
I forget the word?
Mycelium, we just said it.
Oh, that's the name of all of it, or is it
underneath
okay.
is the mycelium, and then
And
the top is the
cap.
fruiting body.
Right. Stems and caps and
Whatever. I sent it to my mom too.
so
Shout out to Cheryl Spags. I was like, you should get some. Maybe. Mostly because it's delicious. I can't tell if it's doing anything yet.
So
is
it powder or pill?
Powder
in your coffee?
No. I was putting in my coffee, but I like how much it tastes, so I'll have my coffee and then I'll have.
It's flavored. I thought
yeah.
In my brain, supplement would be unflavored, but I guess that makes more sense.
It's just ground up mushroom.
Yeah, but mushrooms are
it's gross. Like earthy, and you'd probably hate it. You put some whiskey in it.
Just a drop in the dust.
Counteract. That feels like that's what Lonnie was talking about, where it's like, well, I'm drinking, but it's also herbal something or other.
No. So how many days in are you? 4.
Yeah.
And
because it took that long to get to me.
Right.
Not shout out for Sigmatic. I'm just sitting around twiddling my thumbs, waiting for
not shrooming. All right. Well, I'll check back in a week.
I didn't even look. Are they vegan?
Yeah, they're in the ground.
Yeah, they have extra collagen. No, they're vegan. They're freaking mushrooms.
We ground up some hamburger patties and threw them in there.
Yeah.
For flavor.
Well, and this whole time I've been filming a video about being vegan, and I make jokes like, oh, I just want to eat something with a face, or has a personality, or I got these fake sugar eyes to put on my tofu so it can look back at me at least.
Right. That's disgusting. That's great. That's great.
But now I'm thinking that these mycelium are talking to each other underneath the earth, and they're connecting our whole planet.
What are they saying though?
Are they sentient? And am I still eating a living thing? Yes. So I should feel bad.
Oh, that's true.
Right. You can't eat animals because they're living beings that
talk to each other. And think. That's why you never kill a spider, because spiders, if you kill one spider, all his brothers and sisters are watching you from the other corners, and they're like, really? Really? You just killed Arthur? And then they crawl in your ears when you fall asleep, and then that's it. That's spiders. So that's a good point.
Podcasts, your number one resource for truth.
Justice. All right. So you're vegan. How many days? Okay. Let me start from the beginning. This episode is Meat Man Max interviews Asparagus Alley.
Okay.
First question. Why did you become a vegan?
That's my first question for every vegan too. I'm like, what was your motivation?
Really?
Was it
not animals? Like what's wrong with you, or
was it healthy? Did you get enough protein today? Is question number 2.
Yes, that was question number 2.
So I did it not for animal reasons, which is why I'm still wearing leather pants. Just kidding, they're leggings. But so I guess I don't know if that doesn't count, because I didn't cut out all other animal products that I'm not eating, but I don't think I have any. I do have a baseball glove, but I haven't played baseball since going vegan. So,
well, first of all, you mean softball.
My little weighty hands need a bigger ball.
So you did it for a video. Is that fair to say, or
no? It's not. It's not. Did we not talk about this? I did it because my LDL is off the charts, and I'm going to die of cardiac arrest.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know, in a few days.
How embarrassing!
I know.
What? What is an LDL?
Okay.
Cholesterol, or how do you?
Let's dig into that. LDL is a type of cholesterol. My cholesterol is high in general. Total cholesterol is too high, and then specifically my LDL is really high. And that's been happening for years. Mm-hmm. Like even back before I moved here. So I was in Pittsburgh. Remember when I always talk about how I'm like running marathons every weekend and eating
Pittsburgh, Rivers, and whatever.
I still had a high cholesterol reading then, and they're like, in the middle of me running every day and eating only carrots, they're like, you should eat less fat and work out. And I was like, what am what do I do with that? Anyway, I ignored it. And I guess it just kept getting worse because now.
Oh, it got worse? Do you have like tests from back
yeah.
then? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It
I
was
didn't know that.
borderline
I'm
back
sorry.
then. And then it was bad. And then then I saw a nutritionist because I was like, I'm not taking drugs. I'm going to fix this. So I made a bunch of changes and committed, just like this vegan video, but without going vegan. I, replaced all the fat and butter coffee I was having with olive oil, whatever, a whole bunch of changes. And then retested, and it was worse.
Whoa.
So my cholesterol just is on this sort of trajectory, and this is a last-ditch effort to stop it.
And now it's exponential. Ooh, brutal.
Yeah.
But luckily, you are doing a video about it. Tease.
Yeah, I am.
So we can look forward to that.
60 days vegan. It's probably going to be forever. That's the thing. I'm titling the video, I went vegan for 60 days. But if it works, you're looking at a forever vegan.
That sucks. I mean, okay. Question number 2. Where and how? Actually, question number 1A. What is the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian and plant-based?
It's weird that I seem like the expert on this now, but I am not. I am 34 days into this, and I also feel like you know these answers. Vegan is no animal products. Vegetarian, you could still have, say, milk or eggs because it doesn't have a personality like mycelium necessarily.
Butter, honey.
Yeah. So honey, that's another animal-derived thing that you don't think about. But vegans are like, no, we're not even going to take honey from the comb, even though it doesn't kill a bee to take it.
Oh, really? I don't know that. It just, it just annoys them.
Yeah. I'm like, dang it. I worked so hard on that. And then they start over.
Son of a.
And then they watch you and crawl in your ears at night.
It's just mildly annoying. So we don't eat beef because we don't want to murder cows, and we don't eat honey because we don't want to mildly annoy bees. Oh man! Shout out to all the bees. Sidebar.
That's a whole thing. That's worth a sidebar. Aren't our cell phones destroying bees?
I don't know.
Heard that.
I've heard that. I've heard cell phones are just destroying my brain and nuts, though. So I feel like I feel more strong.
What, like
those
cashews? What do you eat a lot of?
Yeah, almonds.
Butters? Yeah, I keep my phones generally in the uterus area at all times. So
in the vicinity.
Yeah. Sometimes, nature's pocket, if you get it.
I mean, I have one, you have two. No, do what you gotta do.
When you gotta get into The Price is Right, but still vlog it,
Right.
Is it weird that I thought about that?
Yeah, pretty bad. But you're a vlogger.
GoPro is smaller. I'd probably go with that.
Right.
Or the glasses that I actually own with the camera.
I know your nerd glasses. I might want to borrow those. Anyway, my sidebar was there's a bee lady on TikTok, and she is hypnotizing. She's like, okay, so I had to go to this ranch and take out this lovely bee colony, and she's just picking up beehives with her hands and like putting them over here. Or she's taking one of those artificial hives, which looks like a big square box with filing things in it, and she's like scooping bees and like putting them on this thing and then just filing them away ever so gently, closing the box.
She's like in a full suit.
No, she's in her hands. It's bonkers. I think her name might be like Bee Lady or something, but it's bizarre. Can't get enough.
Wow.
Shout out to bees and shout out to bee ladies everywhere.
And the concept of
if bees could go ahead and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, that would be really great, because I hear there's a lot of bees out there.
Really helpful.
And that would help us out a lot.
There's this one time I did a Vine where I made my mom act it out because I was home for Christmas. And I had my dad filming it because I needed a camera motion. So she's holding a present and she looks up and goes, "Is it bees again?" And then my dad swiftly pans to me, like in the other room and up the stairs and far away, shouting, Just open it. Which is
Good
still
old
the funniest
Vine.
thing when I think about it. She nailed it.
I know. It's funny when you ask friends and family, normies to do something, and you explain it, and they're like, "Yeah, I got it." And you're like, "But you have to look really like scared or angry or unsure." And they're like, "I got it. And you're like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then you hit record, and they like, boom! Suddenly, everybody's, famous actor here. I'm like, whoa, what? Where is that hiding? And they're like, "All right, are we done? Can we go eat dinner now?" Okay.
Sounds like you're a great director.
I am not a great director, and I know that firsthand because I've tried to direct people, and it is hard because they'll do it and they'll do a terrible job, and then I'll come over, I'll be like, cut, and I'll come over and I'll be like, can you do that, but like not terrible the way you just did it, like good? Can you do that good? And they're like, what? And I'm like, okay, and we're good, reset, and back to one.
Back to what?
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm really bad at communicating. But whatever, yeah. I'm not a B or 5G phone or whatever.
Bees communicate by dance.
Is this a bee episode?
I think so.
I'm in. Let's do it. Tell me more about bees. How do they communicate?
I
thought they were antennae.
The antenna and dance. I only know this because there's an episode of Futurama and they turn into bees and they have to dance and talk to each other. And Fry is on a weird honey trip. I think it's Futurama. Yeah, it might even be the Futurama movie, whatever.
So unless just for the record, in rankings, number one most reputable scientific information podcast, number two animated 90s Fox TV shows, although 2000s Fox TV shows.
Yeah, adult focused. Let's be clear, not the kid ones.
Well, I don't know. I learned a lot from that animated X-Men back in the day.
How to bench press.
Don't be a racist. Redheads. I mean, come on, it's a lot there. All right. So bees. So you're dancing with bees.
Yes.
But you're on honey. You're off honey. You're on honey.
I'm not on honey.
You're off
honey. I'm doing nothing vegan or nothing animal based. I would love to still be able to eat eggs, but I was having 4 a day. And now that makes you think, well, that's why your LDL sucks.
Yeah, maybe. So do we know what plant-based is?
Oh, right. So plant-based is the term that vegans came up with so that they didn't have to say vegan and get made fun of anymore.
Oh, really? I thought plant-based was vegan. They eat the same things vegans do, but they don't have any sort of emotional attachment the way a vegan sort of does. Okay,
see, I am not the expert here. There's actually a difference. And there's the whole food plant-based is usually connected. Like if you say plant-based, you could still be eating dots, honestly, dots from the movie theater. Those are...
I'm familiar.
It's called a junk food vegan, where basically you're eating all the stuff that tries to be fried chicken and burgers, and it's all processed, but it is plant-based. I'm not doing junk food vegan, by the way. I'm doing plant-based whole foods.
Lame.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I'm hoping that we'll arrive at a question where I can not just talk about how crappy vegan is, because I'm actually enjoying it at this point. Let the meathead to try.
We can get there. Why don't you're doing a typical vegan, just yap. Can't wait to just take over the conversation like any other social
CrossFit Open has been announced. Did you do the first workout? The second one was just announced today.
22-1. No, I didn't, because I didn't want to walk down
backwards up a wall.
I didn't want to handstand hump a wall where I don't really have the space for it. I
didn't either. I did it anyway.
I don't, unless you have a wall. How do you do it? I guess I could do it on the TRX.
By the way, this sidebar was just a joke about the fact that I wanted to say CrossFit because you were making fun of me for saying vegan so much. Now I got to bring up CrossFit in conversation.
It's like how I bring up jazz all the time.
Wait, in B movie, there's this fun line where he's like trying to impress the girl. He's a B, and he's like, "How do I make friends with her?" And he goes, "You like jazz?" And now, like every jazz musician uses that GIF as a way to be like, "Yeah, I'm a jazz guy."
I did not know that. I did not know you've seen the bee movie. You were really into bees. I had no idea. This is a whole thing.
First on bees.
I mean, I don't know if your birthday's coming up, but Christmas is coming up, and you're getting a full bee something or other. Socks.
This is honestly news to me. I had no idea.
Pajama pants.
How much I knew about bees. You know, my mom sends me bee stuff. I have a bee necklace. She painted me bees because we have this ongoing thing about is it bees again now. So
That's
I
funny.
guess
your name doesn't even start with a B.
No.
You know what I mean?
I also think the word is really funny.
Writing it down.
Bees is my thing. I only wear red or yellow and black striped shirts. He's actually writing it, folks.
Bees.
Bees. Have you seen that
yellow
GIF?
And black.
The GIF of Oprah Winfrey.
The Steelers.
Away bees. Oh my gosh, the Steelers. Black and yellow.
And the Penguins.
And the Pirates.
And the Pirates.
I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh is the only city that has all the same colors for all their teams. Why doesn't other cities do that? That's so cool.
Is it cool?
You know what? It isn't cool because then making fake ripoff kind of cheap shirts and paraphernalia is easy because you can just do black and yellow like Pittsburgh thing and everybody knows and you can undercut the NFL.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
I would suggest that what if you didn't like your city? What if you didn't like black and yellow and you wanted to support your city sports team? Then you're kind of out of luck.
Screwed.
For example, if I like red, I can get the Red Sox. If I like blue, I can get the Patriots. We have black and yellow. We're the Bruins. I don't know if you guys have a hockey
step
team.
off. It's stupid.
If I want what is it called? It's Celtic green. I think it might even be leprechaun green. It's just like horrifically emerald green.
You don't have a jacket?
I have a bright green jacket that I wear, and I love it for a couple of reasons. One, we live in LA, so everybody hates that Celtics jacket anyway.
Oh yeah.
Two, I wear it at night because I'm pretty sure it glows. It's so bright. So when I'm walking the dog or whatever, I'm like, you know. I remember a couple of times I've walked out in like a black pants, black sweatshirt situation. I'm like, I better grab that jacket because I don't want to get hit by multiple cars over and over again. Anyway.
So what you're saying is that you choose what sports team you support based on what color
I don't
complements your complexion.
Just so happens. Well, I'm lucky. Every single color in the face of the sun complements on that complexion. But for other people that may not be so physically blessed as I am.
Sure. You're more of an autumn, winter, spring, fall.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's why you're not getting those
face
editing sponsorships. No one's hitting you up to get a plastic surgery.
I mean, I'm in. My eyeballs real big.
That's what you do. I want to look like a crappy filter on Snapchat. Just always surprised.
I'm at a plastic surgery office and I'm like, can I vomit a rainbow? Is that possible?
Throwback. Okay. That's an old one.
So
bees.
You're not plant-based. You're vegan. Or
I'm plant-based. They're the same thing. That's what I think.
Where and how do you get your protein?
Okay, I said I was whole food plant-based, but I don't know if this counts.
Powder.
What was that? I can only answer in 5 words or less.
Oh, I was saying like 5 different sources.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, it's a small number of things. So I do, plant-based protein shakes.
Shakes. Powder
Yeah,
shakes.
powders.
You know.
They taste the same pretty much.
Okay. What else?
Seitan. Have you heard of this?
No.
It is vital wheat gluten, which is even crappier of a name. It's they stretch it until the protein is the only thing left of the wheat. So it's like the opposite of what gluten-free people do. It's just only gluten, but only the protein from gluten. So that sounds like a whole lot of processing and not whole food.
Right.
It's delicious. I'm also starving, so I don't know if that we can get to that too. Is this also a
powder, or is it? Yeah.
No, it's like meat. It's like a little bit chewier meat, and it really just sops up whatever flavor you put on it, which I don't. I just eat it straight. So it's basically, oh my God, it's human chow. I found the vegan dog food, but I love it. It's so good. But it's really, so it's the only thing that is comparable macro wise to having meat. Having a chicken breast. I can have seitan or a chicken breast, and they're kind of equal because it's so low in carbs and low in fat. Now,
I know it's
I also
seitan.
Tofu.
Yeah, I guess that's how you say it.
Tofu is another source that I get it from, but that comes with a lot of fat and carbs. You know, it's not like meat in the sense that it is a mixed meal, which is what Level says you should be eating.
Well, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you like tofu?
Yeah, it's really
How
good.
do you prepare it?
I heat it up, but only because on the packaging it has a temperature, which is absurd to me. I thought I was getting away from being horrified of foodborne illness, but I guess I do need to get it to a certain temperature still. So I make it that temperature and then I put it in my mouth.
Ugh. Okay. This is so gross. My grandfather, when I was growing up, he would have like tubs of tofu in the refrigerator, and he would just fish it out, wet, wobbly, and just it was so gross. Plain. Oh.
So you're saying I could do that? I was just concerned about
I was like, what are you eating? A fish? What is that? And he was like, it's tofu. It's great. You want some? I'm like, no. So a little personally scarred.
Okay. He didn't, get sick.
Sometimes he would cook it from time to time when he wanted to show off. But sometimes we would just be sitting around if he's like babysitting me or whatever. He would just, what do you got there? Tofu scar?
Yes. I burned myself on the pan heating it up.
Oh, no.
This is why I don't like cooking. I could just microwave a chicken breast.
Clumsy.
Shut up.
That's the same reason why I don't like juggling knives, because I'm clumsy,
Okay, we're gonna bring Josh into this.
Well, I didn't say flame knives. The thing for me that was hard with tofu was I had no idea where to even start, how to prepare it, how to make it taste good. Do I fry it? Do I scramble it? Do I dry it? Do I eat it wet? Because literally growing up, the only
drying. Way. I've heard of that. It's not like I'm doing it. That takes
people
time.
Dry it. That's apparently a big game changer in terms of taste. People pan fry it. That's also a big game changer. I like pan fried. I think it tastes much
Another better. Poorly named thing, nutritional yeast. Been adding that on top.
It's gross.
But it's really good. And I don't know if it's because I'm now just starving a lot.
Yeah.
We can get into that, but I'm really hungry when I do end up eating my tofu, and so it tastes great. Or maybe it is that my body's like, this is exactly what you need, so that's why it tastes great. I'm not gonna say starving. I've just been a little hungrier than I would be with meat, even though I am eating the exact same amount.
That's what I was gonna ask. How often are you eating? How many calories? Are you tracking it's the exact same?
I'm still tracking exactly the same macros, same calories, 100 or 2,100 a day. That's on a workout day. And then I'm eating it all at once still.
It's gross. When I'm full from eating like a fatty McDonald's meal, I am full. and I want to lie down and I'm happy and I'm satiated. You know what I mean? I'm full. When I eat a salad with tofu or salad with grilled chicken, or
When have you
know what I
ever
mean?
eaten a salad with
Clean
tofu?
tomorrow. I find that I'm like, I finish the meal and it's a ton of food, it's it's a
Sure.
salad with like a serving size bowl, or it's like a full 2 bags of those frozen vegetables or whatever. It's a ton of food. And
That's
I'm
what I
like,
do.
that's a lot of food. And I have this feeling where I'm like, I'm full.
I know
You
that
know,
feeling.
I'm like,
Yes.
I'm full, but why am I not satisfied,
Mhm.
satiated, happy, full? You know what I mean?
You still feel like you want to eat more, but there's no room.
There's no room. And I'm like, there's no reason. I don't need more food. I know I just like that's a ton of food that I just ate.
Yeah.
It's a ton of food, ton of like the macros I want, a ton of calories, ton of whatever. Does that still happen with your healthy meals? Or I guess that's my follow-up question. Do you just feel like that all the time?
Right. Well, a part of the reason that I love eating that one big meal is to try and get to that feeling. But I would have that problem even if I ate meat, right? I'd eat a bunch and still be like, I'm full, but still kind of hungry. This is weird, whatever. And so I can't say that it's any worse with vegan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And you're still eating all at the same. Oh, you said that all the time. So what are you eating? Still crappy ingredient meals, or are you actually making something?
Absolutely ingredient meals. I invented chocolate chia pudding where you add water to chia and then some cocoa powder and it looks
pudding
and tastes like dirt. Yeah, make a pudding. Oh, and I've been adding some flaxseed because I've heard that's a thing. I don't know. A part of this is adding a lot more fiber. Supposedly that just takes the cholesterol out of your body. It's not some vegan secret. Out. It's just grabs the cholesterol in your intestines and takes it and you crap it out.
Fiber's a real grabby Kathy. Fiber just grabs everything and like walks right out the back door.
If I have too much fiber, I start forgetting things. It takes memories too.
Dang.
I mean,
that's a lot of fiber.
Number one location for scientific truth.
Have you tried fake vegan foods, fake burgers, fake chicken fingers, stuff like that?
I have previous to this experiment. Yeah, just eating Beyond burgers and whatever. Beyond's better than Impossible, by the way.
Yes.
But during this experiment, the idea is that I'm doing whole food plant-based. So I'm not doing the stuff that tries to taste like other stuff. I did buy some just eggs, which has the same macros as eggs, but it's this weird bottle of strangely yellow stuff. I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, I'm trying not to be a junk food vegan. Have you
seen The Matrix 1? From
Brain in a Vat scenario? Is this a Psych 101 class? Because I'm in, or Philosophy 101 because I'm in.
No, close. Do you remember the scene where he eats that eggs in he's on the ship in the real world and he makes that like bowl of snot?
That okay, not the
the one guy's in the Matrix eating a steak with a cigar and a red wine, and Neo is in the real world eating some sort of blend of something or others.
Snot.
And it looks like snot. And it's like, and it looks so gross. That's what I think of all the time when I think of fake, or not fake eggs, I suppose. They're real. They're just different egg replacement substances. Are any of those any good?
So I don't know, because I mean, like I was saying, I've done it before, and yeah, they taste great, but they're not good for you. They're really processed, and yeah, it's just unnatural, and you shouldn't do it often. And they have probably a lot of preservatives and additives, and there's a reason they have to do something to get it to the point where it tastes like meat.
Yeah,
and that ends up making it unhealthy.
I feel that way about it is cool. One cool thing I will say about LA is that there's a lot of, if you are planning to be a total loser and planning on going like a hippie vegan, there are a ton of vegan options, including what I guess I would call vegan fast food.
Yeah. I've come across this now. I did not realize. I love that you
Veggie
even know
Grill
that.
is a big one.
Oh no, there's this place that's a fake
Burger.
McDonald's that does everything McDonald's does,
Oh yeah, well that's
but
yeah,
it's vegan.
It's really cool. I forget what it's called though. I've heard of that. Shoot.
Yeah, and their logo is even red and yellow, and it looks like an upside down frown, an upside down smile, so like a frown. I just went to a German beer garden.
Garten.
Garten.
Very
German.
good. How so good.
And they had more than 4 vegan options. Like they you could just throw in a vegan sausage instead of regular. It was crazy to me.
How
Like
is the
only in
beer?
LA. Great, fantastic.
Trying to get out of a boot.
They do have boots. I don't know, it's questionable. The boot, you know, cleaning the toe is tough.
Well, glass boots or leather boots?
I don't drink out of leather.
I don't do leather. I'm a vegan. Yeah. I will say that some of those fast food vegan places have ripped my stomach up pretty bad. And I feel like it's the process, or I thought it was the fiber, but I've eaten gigantic bowls of broccoli. I've eaten a bunch of fiber. It's like that's what they say is the fiber. So you won't figure out that it's all the junk that they did to process the food.
Right.
But the buffalo fingers are really good. The buffalo tenders are really good. The burgers are really good. Everything they do, like it works pretty well. So shout out to the vegan fast food industry.
It's true. They're making it easy. Yeah, no, I'm definitely in a bubble here. I don't know how hard it would be to do this in another city. Because I've gone to a couple restaurants. Like I said, I went to that beer garden and I went to a vegan Italian place with some friends. I was able to say, hey, can we meet here so that I can have some more options? They're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's not normal in other cities.
Did they know it was a vegan restaurant, or did you bamboozle them?
They did, but they agreed because I married them. So they had to do what I said because I was
common law.
For everybody who doesn't know, I am a minister. Let me just pull out my ministerial credentials that I always have with me, weirdly.
Smart.
There we go. For all our audio listeners, this is Universal Life Church minister. Got my name on it. Anyway, yeah. So they were like, they needed help getting married. And then I was like, fine, but we have to go to a vegan restaurant if we're eating after.
Aren't they? Oh, that was my follow-up question. What do you do at a restaurant? I mean, I assume this is kind of a funny question for you anyway, because you order weird stuff. You order burger patties with a side salad all the time.
Right. Yeah.
What do you do at a real restaurant? Or do you just not go to real restaurants and hassle and inconvenience your friends all the time?
Yeah, you nailed it. But I've only been doing it for 34 days. So it's been twice, right? That one time where I had my friends go to the vegan because they had to. And then the one time that I did the research and got lucky and found a beer garden that does vegan. So, but I felt that way even when I was tracking my macros. It was like, I'll just eat the same thing in several separate dishes as ingredients instead of going out to eat. I haven't hit Chipotle yet. I used to do that a ton pre-vegan, but they have vegan options.
They have vegan options as like one of their main things.
It's pretty super easy to be vegan there, so I got to try that.
Yeah. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. How's your energy? How's your strength? Have you been tracking yet?
PRs on dips and pull-ups. So
yes, obvious. Oh, how's your weight? I guess I don't know. Am I allowed to ask how's your weight?
Oh, yes.
I don't really want to skip to the end, but my couple questions down the line is, are you hot yet? No offense.
Honestly,
no offense.
My one friend who I was telling about this, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen a vegan and said, wow, that's a body that I want. And I was like, oh man. And I was like, well, I just did a bunch of research and I found a bunch of vegan bodybuilders and I've definitely said that about them. And he's like, yeah, but they're working at it. They made it a point.
Sorry, I did a bunch of research. So he's on Pornhub being like, broccoli. Nope. Cucumber. Well, not exactly. Eggplant. Well, I feel like we're getting off topic here. So he's just on Pornhub Googling vegetables, right? Or is that's the research he's doing? Anyway, go on. Are there vegan
Anyway,
bodybuilders? There
so
are,
but
right?
it's funny contrast because you think vegan makes people hot, and he was like, vegan makes people pretty blah looking.
I think
Or are you not saying that?
I was saying that 100%. I think that the vegan people I know, or the people I know who have gone vegan, plant-based, whatever, they have immediately become so shredded so quick. They go from a 2-pack to a 12-pack, couple of weeks, couple of months. It is just like, and I know for myself, when I eat what I like, I'm like a little doughy. And when I don't eat what I like all that is just shrink wrapped a little bit. And that
Nice
is
and
in
tight.
my brain. That's what
Yeah.
the vegan body is like. Now, I will say that in my dumb knuckle dragger brain, I imagine everyone's working out anyway all the time. If you're vegan, you must be doing yoga. So you're doing a bunch of handstands and your shoulders are all irresistibly flexible and stuff like that. Like it's insane. So maybe that's sort of why I was busting your balls about it a little bit. But are you feeling energy wise? Are you feeling strength wise? Have you noticed anything, or is it just like a whatever?
Yeah. So strength and energy wise, I think it's pretty much on par. I probably should be eating more, and specifically more protein, because I feel like it's not getting soaked in,
Yeah.
I don't want to change. I don't want to add more during the experiment because I wanted one variable, and the only variable is I'm switching everything out to be plant-based, but it's all exactly the same. But yeah, it's feeling like maybe I should be eating more, but it's not like, oh, throughout the day I'm any that much more tired. I did do a 48-hour fast, which I'll do occasionally. And it was super hard. My legs were jello, and I was hungry way sooner than I ever was. I woke up and the next day I was still hungry, and that never happens to me. So I'm like, I cannot be plant-based and do an extended fast.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was
Interesting.
definitely an energy issue. I think it's because my glucose drops faster, and I just have not as much stored and ready to keep going to the next day.
Oh, have you tracked levels? Are your levels doing
Yeah.
different? Are you doing different stuff levels wise?
Yeah. So generally my levels will stay pretty higher in the morning because I'm so used to fasting that my body will just sort of be like, yeah, I know you're not going to eat for a while, so I'll just hang out here. It seemed to be dropping faster now that I'm plant-based. I'll get down lower sooner.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your body's happier, less happy, or the same?
Yeah, it's so messed up because when I'm eating my chia pudding mud, it's like, yes, it just feels like this is exactly what my body needs. The broccoli tastes so good, like I said, but is it because I should be eating more of it and I'm just really hungry? But a part of this, it really does feel like, yeah, I can sense my blood is getting better. And that might be placebo or whatever, but if that freaking works, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it counts.
I do get the feeling this is exactly what I need, and I'm going to be doing it for a while. Oh, but I should say this before I started the experiment. My doctor, who was also trying not to put me on statins, but was like, you probably need to go on statins, said these exact words: if I told you that this vegan diet on its own was going to work, that would be malpractice on my part. So she's even like, okay, yes, do the experiment. Let's do our best to not have you go on drugs. And she's really holistic and would not want to take drugs herself, and really tries to not do that to any of her patients. And she's like, you're probably still, even after going vegan, going to have to be pilling it up.
That's so funny. I guess I come from a different world or whatever, but I love when people are like, I don't want to do pills. I want to be holistic. I'm like, I love pills.
Yeah.
I'll do pills all the time. I'll take an Advil every day for the rest of my life. Is that totally fine? Not a big
I don't think
deal.
I've ever taken an Advil.
Wow. Way to tell someone you've never worked out hard enough before.
Hey, I've never thrown up at the end of a workout, so you still have that over me. I'm really impressed.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you've done it often too.
I've done it a lot, and it is not fun. I do not recommend it.
Would not recommend. 0 stars.
I would really 0 stars.
Okay, the only reason I don't want to do pills is because of the side effects. They give you joint problems. They give you higher glucose. There is potential. Oh, and my DNA test said that I would respond poorly to statins, and they might not even work.
Mm.
Now, part of the DNA company, how we had him on, and and my DNA even says that the cholesterol problem is probably genetic.
Brutal. I don't know if I asked you this. Are you taking other supplements to supplement any potential loss of nutrients from no meaty or whatever?
Yes. There's some supplement called Cholesterol Pure that she sent me. The doctor sent me, which I swear she's names, not nutty.
By the way.
It's
I wanted to name the erectile dysfunction company just now, but I just caught myself because I'm waiting for that check.
Don't do it. Meanwhile, 4 Sigmatic that I've been drinking. What else? Omega-3s. I've been doing routine. It's fun, by the way.
I wonder if it would change. Or that's a DNA test.
I know.
So
no, my blood will be different after this. So I need to retest with routine because they're probably going to be like, you don't get enough B12 now. We're going to amp it up in your dosage. Routine, by the way, was another episode we did where they test your DNA, blood, and take a lifestyle test to tell you what vitamins specifically you should have for your body. And I've been doing it for a week now.
How do you feel?
Every morning I'm excited for it. It's so weird. It's like swallowing nerds. It's and it's so satisfying.
We don't need to talk about high school, Allie.
Stop coming out of study hall.
Okay. The library, the stacks. Did you? We had a
that was my name.
Library stacks. That was your nickname? Was Stacks?
No, it was not. It was a joke. Come on.
We had a place in our library called the Stacks. In college, we had this really, really pretty building. That was our library. There was they had this huge atrium with like all these gigantic, like a wall of windows, and it was really pretty. And the sunset
dope donation
right there. It was awesome. And there was all these cool little nooks with really comfortable chairs and places you could study. Our library was sweet. And in the basement, there was something called the Stacks. And that is where they had sort of the, I don't know what was down there in terms of like resources or whatever, but they were in like these bookcases that were metal automated, and they were attached to the top, and you could move them by yourself.
Yeah. Oh, by hand.
They were all clumped together. Well, they were huge, so you would move them by hand, and they would sort of like wobble around as you moved them. And so you'd like, okay, I need, section C37 or whatever. And so you move all these guys over there, and you go in there, and you get your book, and then you come out. And people would always go down there to make out. And then one day someone got squished.
I was gonna make that joke. Wait, really? That happened?
Not like to death. They didn't die. Okay. But someone was moving stacks, and then some other 2 people were like, ow, please stop doing that. And then that first person was like, is someone down here? And then they walked around, and those first 2 people were squished between 2 stacks. And it always gave me like such anxiety, because that's like some Indiana Jones stuff to like get squished between 2 moving bookcases or whatever. So the Stacks. So anyway, if you're in the basement of the library at Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut, lock the door to the Stacks if you're going to make out down there. That's a life lesson. That's a real lesson you could take from the podcast for sure.
Number 1 resource for how to make out at Trinity College. This podcast.
This podcast. I think I asked you, or I don't know if I did. What are we doing with seafood?
He's acting like he had this written down. We came up with this idea and I hit record. He doesn't have questions.
What do you mean? I just asked you about seafood. That's a legit question.
Okay, so if this does work, I'm going to experiment with a Mediterranean diet and start having seafood. So be a pescatarian,
Nice.
Yeah.
Rotisserie chicken.
Yeah. Oh, if it's chicken of the sea.
Chicken of the sea. What is the Mediterranean diet actually?
I don't know. It's like
not
vegan,
just Mediterranean
but
food.
Also salmon. Yeah, Mediterranean food.
Wine.
It's a lot of olive oil, which I've been chugging.
Do you eat the rainbow? Is that still a thing?
No. That's a thing. Christine says it all the time in her nutrition coaches.
I feel like it's one of those things that like it's just like it sounds really good. I don't know if it
are Skittles vegan.
They are autofilled. Sure.
The standard varieties of Skittles are suitable for a vegan diet. I do eat the rainbow.
Boom. You taste the rainbow.
Oh, right. Okay, whatever.
Candy. What are we doing for candy? No Snickers. No.
I haven't. Oh, I did get a vegan chocolate bar.
And?
It's good. Okay. I mean, there's not milk chocolate. It's dark chocolate. So you got to like dark chocolate, which
I find is an acquired taste. It is clearly not as good as milk chocolate. And if you have a piece of milk chocolate and then you immediately have a piece of dark chocolate, you're like, wow, this one sucks compared to the milk chocolate. But if you don't have either for a couple of days and then you just have dark chocolate's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. That's how I feel about any sort of thing that's good for you compared to the delicious thing.
Yes,
if you just separate yourself from sugar for long enough,
from reality, sugar to
then broccoli tastes amazing. I just realized that Easter's coming up and I'm gonna want to eat a Cadbury egg.
I know, you better figure that out. I'm sure they have vegan.
Yeah, okay. It's just a regular egg, but just eggs. Okay, it's tofu.
Okay, it's air. All right. Well, I guess we have one question we ask all of our interviewees.
Thank God alcohol all of it is vegan. What on
all
earth?
Of it is vegan.
Pretty much. Are you kidding me? This would not be sustainable at all if I had to stop having beer because it came from killing a cow. I don't know.
Sorry.
Right? Did you want to finish the question? How do you integrate
alcohol? No, I was going to say, no, I think they all are. I wasn't sure about every beer. I don't know if there's some like weird esoteric beer that has
I'm sure
milkshake in it or some weird stuff like that. Or
it would be crazy to accidentally order it. There's like it would be like, try our meat beer because this is a remarkable ingredient. Collagen beer. Which collagen? Dang it, I can't even have collagen powder, whatever. That's
that is bonkers. Meads, honey beers, cask ales, milk stouts.
Really? I just assumed they were called milk stout because they tasted milky, not because they had milk in them.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a short and stout.
I like stouts, but milk stouts are meh. So I'm not mad. But yeah, I mean, Guinness? I guess I can't have one of those speakeasy drinks where they put raw egg in and then I get concerned about having salmonella.
I hate that. That is it's egg
so
white.
Good. What do you mean? Yeah.
So
raw egg white.
Gross.
They taste delicious. Are you kidding me? You're bizarre.
They don't taste delicious. What's delicious is your sense of posturing as you're at the bar and you're like, I'd love a butterscotch nipple fire, and the guy's like, oh, good choice, and then he rolls up his long sleeve button down shirt and does that like then the cups are flipping around, he's got that dumb spoon, he's like and you're like, dude,
20 minutes later,
okay,
he sets things on fire. He's
exactly he squeezes a flame ball into your face via orange peel or whatever.
What's it called whenever they just
Flare.
take the outside of the
Zest.
Yeah, zest. Oh, I hate that in food too. It's so
I hate
stupid.
that
It's the outside. You're not
people.
supposed to eat it. That's why it's so pungent tasting. Anyway, that guy hates you because you ordered a Bud Light after me and my butter nipple.
It was a Bud Light Lime. It was 9 Bud Light Limes actually. So it was either that or sometimes
9.
I'll order like 15 mojitos. That's actually a funny one. Back when I used to go to bars, sometimes I would order 9 mojitos and I'd see the the poor guy would be, just in the weeds, just like looking for stuff out of ice, trying to find stuff. And he'd be like, yeah, what do you need? And I'm like, nine mojitos. And he's like, and he would like stop and like turn to me and be like, what? And I would be like, I'm just kidding. Vodka soda. And he'd be like, okay, that was funny. I understand that was funny. I'm too stressed to laugh about it, but that was funny. And I'll get you that vodka soda. That's a fun one to know.
Solid. Yeah, this reminds me of you went to a meat thing for a dinner, and I was like, well, obviously I'm not going, but I was like, I mean, at least I could drink, even if I do get invited to something, I know that, well, I'll just sit there with my beer and watch people inhale their flesh.
I can just problem drink. That was one of my favorite dinners. That's a place called Duck, and they serve you duck and only duck. They have 2 different varieties, slices, and I can't remember the other one because I never get it.
It's not actually called duck. He just calls it duck.
It's duck.
Okay. The restaurant sounds so bizarre.
It's
maybe I should just switch to only having.
I did have my final question. My final question. After this, or in the near future, are you ever planning on? You're at this end of the spectrum, going all the way to the other end of the spectrum, and going full carnivore. Just meat only. Only meat in this gal.
Had I done this for the reason that you thought, for the video experiment, then no question, I would immediately follow it up with going full. Ooh, can you imagine back to back? I bet that my body would need a transition period.
Your body would, like how you can like lose your mind. Your body would like kick your mind out of you.
But yeah, I should do 60 days carnivore, especially because there's so much hype. That's
a great video title too. My God.
60 days carnivore. Yeah. You do it and
from
put
vegan to carnivore.
Oh, yeah, or the other way. Even I should have done vegan or carnivore first.
Yeah, you should have just to prove to everyone. You're like, I figured it out. You're right. It was the meat.
We got it. A part of the vegan video, I go to Fogo de Chao and eat meat off of swords. I don't know if that's a poor move, because anybody that's watching because they're into veganism is going to be mad about that.
I mean, come on. I'm sure they have more things to be mad about. Yeah. Your last meal. Did you dress up as Jesus?
Oh yeah. I guess I can't get communion anymore because you can still go to heaven because they can't have the blood of Christ and the body of Christ.
Not vegan.
That's a good point.
We just solved Christianity. Religion. We just solved religion, didn't we? Or we cracked it. We cracked it. We didn't solve anything. We just decoded it finally. Well, this has been illuminating. I'm glad you're feeling better. My biggest takeaway is that you're like, you weren't sure how it was going to go, and now that it's going really well, you're like, darn it. Yeah.
But the blood will tell. That's the true reason I'm doing this. So it's going to be if I see results there, not just how I feel, which feels like it's good for my blood.
My blood feels pretty good.
In 26 days. Precisely.
Can't wait. I'm very excited for you.
I need suggestions on how to break vegan, because the only thing that I really want to do when I break vegan is like eat some Greek yogurt. I miss that, which is so stupid because it's not epic. It's not meat off a sword. I don't actually miss meat.
Really?
Mm-mm. I was
I'm
never a
missing
big
out.
meat fan. I would
Yeah.
eat it because it was so functional.
Well, you were also never a big meal plan meal person,
Sure.
like a fancy meal. Oh, I can't wait to
I
try
am not
this
a
new
foodie. Yeah, exactly.
um bolognese or whatever,
Duck.
like, yeah, duck dinner, slices and strips. That's the other one, slices and strips. It's good. It's really good.
Uh,
They gave me the best part of the dinner was they had a big stack of meat and they put 2 candles in it instead of a birthday cake. And they brought it out and they sang me happy birthday. And I had a meat cake. Or it's unreal. Unreal. Well, good stuff, Allie. I can't wait.
yeah, thanks. Thanks
Do you have
for
a vegan name now
being
that
curious.
once you are, do you have a new name in mind once you achieve a
Asparagus
higher plane?
Alley. I just learned it today from you.
A squared. Love it.
Meathead Max. All right. We got to do an episode where I interviewed you. Let us know in the comments what I should interview Max about.
I just drew your
Sure, there's
logo. It's
plenty.
terrible.
What's
I'll workshop it.
Asparagus Alley logo?
Yeah.
Is it 2 A's?
It's a green stick. 2 A's would be a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I'm happy to be interviewed about being a meathead. But I think you should really think about going double meat after you're on, because then at least you'll know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and
You
then you
might
gotta eat
die.
the entrails too, the insides and bones or whatever to get enough calcium. There's more to it than just, oh, I eat meat now. You have to eat the tip, nose
Only
to tail,
meat.
what do they say?
You have to mean to tip to tail. It's disgusting. It's so gross. And I also hear there's a weird diaper phase you have to go through. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh,
good stuff. Don't
wait. If you had to do one, full carnivore or full vegan, what would you do?
probably full vegan.
Wow.
I mean, I honestly, because I would choose, my vanity would make that decision, and I would want to be hot versus want to be happy.
Well, all those dudes doing carnivore are pretty ripped, jacked,
Yeah, well,
right?
they're doing carnivore and a little bit of gear on the side, and who knows if they're actually doing carnivore. And it's like Bear Grylls was like in the woods, and then they pan over, and there's like a highway right there. You know what I mean? Like those guys on Survivor, you're telling me they're not like slipping $20 to the cameraman for a Snickers bar? You know what I mean? All the big time. I don't want to ruin my favorite show, but my favorite show of all time is The Challenge on MTV, and they have all these challengers, and every week someone's eliminated. It came out that in past years, someone would say like, hey man, if you throw this elimination, every time you win the elimination, you get like 10, 20 grand or whatever. They'd be like, hey man, if you just lose this elimination, I'll break you off 5 grand. And the guy'd be like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then that was that.
I mean, that makes sense. Humans are smart.
Yeah, they're gaming the system. Just like you. You're gaming the nutrition system.
See if it works. I'll check in with you soon.
Please do.
Yeah. Thanks to the Fitheads. If you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us out a whole lot. And we'll see you next week.